Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel and to today's live. My name is Bridget Parker and I cover all things true crime. We are streaming on YouTube, Periscope and DLive. We will also be uploading this as a podcast after our live has ended. So I want to welcome everyone in. Sad circumstances today with this live, but I want to talk about how I feel that this is a positive in a way, and I will touch on that soon. I'm just going to welcome everyone in and wait for the room to fill up a little bit. Hello to Morgan. Morgan said she's going to watch the replay, so a big hello to anyone who listens to the replay. Thank you so much for your support, coming back and listening when you can. Hey to Cherokee Rain, Jay Suarez, Infinite Beauty, Emily, Elizabeth Warren, EMT Honeybee. I hope everyone's having an okay day or night wherever you are in the world. I woke up to lots of messages telling me that Gannon's body had been found, which is obviously very, very sad. And so I've been sort of catching up on as much information as I possibly can. Hey Carol, hey Jazzy J, hey Kanga Blue. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well, or as well as they can be. Given the state of the world. I'm going to try not to say the C word in this stream. The thing that the whole world's talking about, because apparently if you say that word, your stream is immediately demonetized. So I'm going to try and be PC with this. Hey, Alison Loves Animals. How are you? Yeah, it is very, very sad. But for me personally, obviously it's incredibly sad. But the first thing I did think of was Al and Landon, Gannon's parents. And I thought at least they don't have to spend the rest of their lives wondering where he is. I feel that's the only positive I can bring from this. It's not much of a positive at all, but I'm just genuinely not happy. It's not the right word. I'm just not happy. I'm just glad that they don't have to spend the rest of their lives wondering what happened. So, hey, faithful one. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes just for the room to fill up, just so people can come on. So what's happening on YouTube at the moment? For those that are just viewers, I'll let you know a little insight from someone who's a content creator. A lot of YouTube oh, did I miss a comment? Hey, Jack's mum. A lot of YouTube employees actually are at home at the moment. So what's happening is they're relying a lot on the software and the machines behind YouTube. So a lot of, you may notice that you're not getting as many notifications as you usually do. You may not be getting notifications, and a lot of content creators aren't having their videos pushed out, and that's just because of what's going on in the world at the moment. So I don't know what's going on over on Periscope. Hang on, let me sign into Periscope and see what's going on. Let me just check. Restream's up as well. Oh, thank you, AMT Honeybee. Hey, Aussie Trisha. We haven't started yet, Aussie Trisha. I'm just waiting a little bit for the room to fill up a little bit. Sometimes it as I said, notifications don't go out straight away. But so I think I've caught, hey Alan, how are you? I think I've got all the information. Thanks, Josie J. I think I've got all the information that has been released. So we will dive into it at the moment. Don't forget to share the stream out as well, guys. But my thoughts, yes, Gannon's body has been found. I'm going to explain where and what we know so far in a moment. But I'm glad that at least his parents don't have to wonder for the rest of their lives what happened to him. Hey, Renee. Yes, Faithful One says, plus Gannon can rest in peace knowing he was brought home to his parents. So let me pop up a screenshot of something that Landon, Gannon's mum, posted on social media a few hours ago. And so she said, you will pay, I promise. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. My baby will be coming home. So obviously they haven't really made a comment. They've said that pleased to leave them for the moment whilst they absorb this news. Obviously, apparently they still had a little hope that he'd be found alive, obviously, as you would. But this is a lot for them to take in, and so I'm going to do this stream and we're going to talk about this, but I'm going to leave it be after this for a little bit. Hey, Amy, how are you, honey? I want this family to have some privacy during this time, and this case has been so public, and I just feel that they need a little time to absorb all of this because this has all been so much. Let me just quickly check Streamlabs and then we can get into it. So let me turn it off and then on again. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Oh, it helps if I spell the words right. Quickly check. No, Jazzy J, they haven't said a cause of death, but I'm going to get into all of that. I also have the thank you to Tamra. I have from our Facebook group, I have the official court docs, so I can show them. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Everything's situated and ready. So what we know so far. Do you want me to do a quick, I'm going to do a quick run through of everything. So Gannon, the boy on the screen, he's 11. He went missing on January 27th. It was a Monday. He was apparently sick and stayed home from school. The stepmother, Letecia Stauch, you're going to hear a lot about her. She claims that at 3:15 he left to go to a friend's house. A neighbor reports Gannon missing. Where is everyone else? Al, the father of Gannon, he's in, oh, I've forgotten what it's called. Let me just see if I've got it written down. He's in the military and he was in Oklahoma at the time. His bio mum doesn't live in the state. A police report is filed that night. We find out later, though, that a neighbour's camera actually sees Letecia, T, as some people call her, and Gannon leaving in the early in the morning. I think it was about 10ish that occurred. And so it completely contradicted with the story that came out. Letecia was also on social media a lot and was saying I can't even explain. She just wanted so much attention on her, and things weren't adding up. She was actually asked to leave the home, and the bio mum actually was staying with Gannon's father for a little while. I love how what's the right word? I love how together Al and Landon are on this, because I think that it's important that they have each other through this. And I know that when people separate, sometimes there can be issues and things like that, but they've been together through this. National Guard, thank you so much. Okay, so he goes missing and nothing. We don't get much. We get a lot of CSI vans at the home, and we get little bits and pieces of being said. Letecia comes online and pleads her innocence and all of this sort of stuff. So things sort of start to ramp up a couple of days later. February 3rd, the neighbour shows that there's footage that completely contradicts what Tisha's saying. And that they actually left the home at 10:15 a.m. There's also discussion about a Petco visit as well. There was 2 Petco visits on that day, and I think that's actually going to play into especially the court case and the timeline as well. On March 2nd, so like a month later, Letecia Stauch is arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and she's charged with a couple of things, including, let me just double check. She was charged with 4 things, which was murder in the first degree, child under 12, position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased body, and tampering with physical evidence. So she was arrested in South Carolina and she was brought back to Colorado where this happened. Now, as of Tuesday, so on Tuesday of this week, St. Patrick's Day, remains were found by the Florida Department of Transportation road crew. They were working in the area and they found human remains. It was in the area of US 90 and Escambia River Bridge in Pace, Florida. So quite some distance from the home, obviously 1,400 miles from the Stauch home, completely different state. The crew calls the sheriff's office and obviously they come and start their investigation. The next day, Wednesday, March 18th of this week, the sheriff's office, this is Santa Rosa Sheriff's Office, they call El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Now, El Paso is obviously the county in which Gannon went missing from, and they let them know about this. There was an autopsy that was performed and Gannon has been tentatively ID'd. But I don't believe that El Paso County or any sheriff's office would come out and say this unless it was, definitely Gannon. So new charges have been filed against Letecia. And I want to talk about those because a lot of people are talking about what's in the court docs for that. So we're going to pull up the court docs in a second. The new charges are murder in the first degree after deliberation, murder in the first degree, victim under 12 in a position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased human body, tampering with physical evidence, and 8 counts of crime of violence. We're going to talk about the 8 counts of crime of violence in a second because A lot of people are talking about that, and I have some insight into that. So let's pull up the court docs of these things that have been the what's the word? The charges that have been filed. So yes, his remains have been found and obviously identified, and he will be brought home to his family. More so you can see more. Okay, so let's go back to the first one. Nope. Okay, so this is the first page. Yeah. So this has the charges that she has. Now you can see there's a lot of different counts from count 6 to 10 of crime of violence, and we're going to look at those because a lot of people are talking about that. Let me just check the comment. Yes, she was arrested. Okay, so let's have a little look. So that's just page 1. It just shows you the counts. The counts follow on to the second page. So there's 13 counts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 counts of crime of violence, and that's what everyone's talking about at the moment. So let's have a look at each count and see what's written for that. Okay. Daniel H. May, District Attorney for the 4th Judicial District of the State of Colorado, in the name and by the authority of the people of the State of Colorado, inform the court of the following offences committed or triable in the County of El Paso. Hey Paula, welcome in everyone. We're just going over the charges that have been filed against Letecia Stauch in the case of sad Gannon Stauch, as his body has been found. Count 1, murder in the first degree. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch unlawfully, feloniously, after deliberation, and with the intent to cause the death of a person other than herself, caused the death of Gannon Stauch in violation of section 18-3-10102. So this is murder in the first degree. So the District Attorney Dan May actually believes that this was premeditated. Count 2, murder in the first degree. On or about January 27th, Letecia Stauch unlawfully, feloniously, and knowingly caused the death of Gannon Stauch, a child who had not yet attained 12 years of age, and the defendant was in a position of trust with respect to the victim. Count 3, child abuse resulting in death. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch unlawfully, feloniously, knowingly, or recklessly caused an injury to or permitted to be unreasonably placed in a situation that posed a threat of injury to the life or health of a child, namely Gannon Stauch, and engaged in a continued pattern of conduct that resulted in cruel punishment, mistreatment, or an accumulation of injuries that resulted in the death of a child. Count 4, tampering with a deceased human body. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch, believing that an official proceeding was pending, in progress, or about to be instituted, and acting without legal right or authority, unlawfully and feloniously willingly destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered a human body, part of a human body, or human remains with intent to impair its or their appearance or availability in the official proceedings. Count 5, tampering with physical evidence. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch, believing that an official proceeding was pending or about to be instituted and acting without legal right or authority, unlawfully and feloniously destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered physical evidence with the intent to impair its verity or availability in the pending or prospective official proceeding. So they're the first 5 counts. Let's move on. Now these are the counts of crime of violence, and we've discovered that there's 8, and I'll go through each one of them. Let me just check that nope, it's not showing properly. Here we go. Count 6, crime of violence. This count talks about Letecia unlawfully using or possessing and threatening the use of a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or the immediate flight from the offence of murder in the first degree. Each different count will show you a different deadly weapon. Okay, so let's look. The first count of this is the firearm. Count 7 is a blunt instrument. Count 8 is a knife. So everyone's talking about those 3 things that those 3 things were used, and I don't actually believe that that's the case at all. What I think, from what I know, is that at the moment they aren't aware of what instrument was used, and unfortunately they may not know in the future the cause of death, what instrument caused his death. But these are usually the means that caused the injuries that Gannon received. So they're charging with all 3 because when it goes to court, they will put up their timeline and their theory. Does that make sense? Because everyone online is saying, oh, you know, she shot him, then she hit him with an instrument, hit his head, and then, you know, she used a knife on him. That's not necessarily the case at all. It could just be that obviously there are wounds, and given the time frame, if he sadly passed on, say, the 27th, there's decomposition, unfortunately. We don't know what, what's the word? We don't know what, what's the word? We don't know what, how the body was. We don't know if it was badly decomposed or what, unfortunately. So they may not know the actual instrument that caused his death, but they know that his death was because of homicide. Does that make sense? So crime, count 9. Let me see if that follows up on the screen. Make sure that we're still being, I know that we're all angry, but can we please show a little respect? I don't want, I would just prefer some, I know we're all angry at her, but we just have to be fair. We can't incite violence. What are we up to? So count 9, crime of violence. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch, during the attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or immediate flight from the crime of murder in the first degree after deliberation, as charged in count 1, unlawfully caused the death of Gannon Stauch, a person not a participant in the crime, in violation of section. So this one sort of covers all bases. So that every single charge here, they're covering as many bases as they possibly can. Count 10 is about the firearm. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch unlawfully used or possessed and threatened the use of a deadly weapon, namely firearm, during the commission of attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or the immediate flight from the offence of murder in the first degree, child under 12 years of age. Count 11. Oh, what's happening to my computer? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Count 11. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch unlawfully used or possessed and threatened the use of deadly weapon, namely blunt instrument, during the commission of attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or the immediate flight from the offence of murder in the first degree, child under 12 years of age, as charged in count 2. Final page has count 12. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch unlawfully used or possessed and threatened the use of a deadly weapon, namely knife or other sharp instrument, during the commission of attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or the immediate flight from the offence of murder in the first degree, child under the age of 12. And the final count is count 13. On or about January 27th, 2020, Letecia Stauch during the attempted commission of conspiracy to commit or immediate flight from the crime of murder in the first degree, child under 12 years of age, as charged in count 2, unlawfully caused the death of Gannon Stauch, a person not a participant in this crime. So she has 13 charges against her right now. 13 charges. And they're all on the screen at the moment, all of those charges. So there was a press conference that talked a little bit about this, but the courts have, I do believe, put a, let me just put this up. I think they have put a ban on discussing this case because it's so high profile. So we won't probably hear much else. This means that no officials can discuss the case in great detail with the media, which is completely fine. Their job now is to try and piece everything together and work out how and why, although there really isn't a reason to kill an 11-year-old boy, a sweet innocent boy, at all. So let me go and have a little look at comments and see what everyone is saying. Yes, so there is a rumor going around about a suitcase. Let me pull up that image. I have a screenshot of that. I don't tend to... Where's my image? Where's my... In download. I've got a couple of things to show, including the area. So this is a screenshot that has all of the names redacted, but it says it's a post on Facebook. I don't know whether we can... It's not fact, okay? It's just rumor, speculation. It says, my sister took that call. She's a dispatcher for Santa Rosa. Some guy found him in a suitcase. So there is discussion that he was found in a suitcase. We don't know whether that's what happened or not. So I'm just leaving that one out there. I can show you 2 images of the area as well. So he was found under a bridge. There's one image. And then let me add up the next. That's the area. Kanga Blue says, how did she have time to get him to Florida? A lot of people are talking about, it's speculation that someone else was involved in this. A lot of people are talking online about her trip to Petco. It's believed she had 2 trips to Petco on that Monday that he went missing. I don't know whether we don't know what. That's why in the court charges it says on or about January 27th. We don't know, sadly, what day he passed. But on that day, she went to Petco and she bought 3 dog coats. Now, pure speculation. I want to know, do we know what size the dog coats were? Are we talking a little like Chihuahua dog? Are we talking a Great Dane? Because I think that if you're buying 3 Great Dane coats, it's a whole lot different than buying 3 Chihuahua coats. You know what I mean? Janice Burns says, does anyone know when she gave that interview? Let me look at, I've got it written down. That was on Friday, January 31st. So he goes missing on the Monday, and on the Friday she gives that interview, the infamous interview where she hides her face, but it was that interview. Someone said extra large. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. Let me go back and make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, Jack's mom says Landon's aunt posted about the suitcase. Take that for what it's worth. Well, yeah, I think I have that post as. Let me have a look. I think you posted about that. Okay, so yeah, this was posted into All Things True Crime, I think. And Veronica is the aunt, I believe Jack's mum said. And she says, yeah, she got back in the back of a police transport. 35 days passed from the time he was murdered until we were told it was a murder case and she was arrested. Yes, he was murdered and put in a suitcase and thrown out as garbage. That's from the aunt. We have a photos out. Okay, so this is from my good. So if you're looking for a media source or a good reporter on this case, my suggestion is Spencer Wilson on Twitter at Spencer_W News. I'm about to show one of his tweets. He's the go-to guy on this case, I personally believe. He's covering this case. So let me show you what he popped up that EMT kindly sent to me. So he was responding to someone and said, sorry, I can clarify. Those are 3 different charges. So they believe they have the evidence to prove she used all 3 of those types of weapons. Knife or sharp objects is just a charge title. Basically means they believed she stabbed him. Yeah, so that will all go off the injuries that they find on his body, have found on his body during his autopsy. So this is all, you know, only days old, sadly, since they found his body. So, you know, charges can change during that time as well. Kanga Blue thinks that she really wasn't clever at all. You could almost put her in the dumbest criminal category. I mean, yeah. Faithful One says, didn't they find a 2x4 and a sock with blood on it in Colorado? Yeah, so I was doing some reading and the rumor is that Gannon had hurt his foot a couple of days prior. And so that was possibly in the garage and that was possibly why I'm not 100% sure on that. Jay Suarez says there are rumors that she has the virus and she got it possibly in jail. Oh, no. I don't wish that virus on anyone, to be honest with you. Hey Rachel, how are you? I just hope that he didn't suffer so much, you know. I hope he was unconscious. I mean, I know it's weird to say those sort of things, but I think about him in that situation, and I think about Al and Landon and how they have to see these charges against their poor little boy. As far as you're still working, ugh. I'm not going to mention where you work because I don't know whether that's public, but I'm not happy with that. Jack's mum, can you clarify? Oh my god, that scared the heck out of me. That scared the heck out of me. Oh, let me go and have a look on DLive what that was, because it didn't come up properly. That made me jump. Hey, Otto Rocks. What a way to make an entrance. I needed a little comic relief. Thanks for following, Otto Rocks. Hey Gail, how are you? Let me go back and have a little look. It's not your fault, it's mine. I forgot that I'd put that alert up. So, I mean, I don't... Oh, the virus thing, I think that's what is not sure if she's got that or not. Maybe, I don't know. Speaking of jails and things like that, on Thursday, Wednesday for you in America, I sent off our first batch of mail to our convicted killers. I haven't sent off Luca Magnotta's letter yet. I do have a couple of cards that I bought, so I might pop that up on our All Things True Crime Facebook page for people to vote which card they want me to send. So, oh, good, Jay Suarez. I'm glad. I have a huge... Oh, Janice, thank you. I truly appreciate that. That money will go towards sending letters to killers, unless you don't want me to use it towards that. And like, I won't do that. But we sent our first batch of letters out, and we'll send another batch out Monday or Tuesday. I have to go out and get my medications. So I'm going to send another batch out. Hey, Black Rose, how are you? Bye, Infinite Beauty. Okay, so there is a rumor going around on the internet that Letecia has the C word. I can't say this. I can't say it unless I want to be demonetized. It's just ridiculous. No, it's yours. Okay, I'll do something for myself with that money. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else that I haven't covered. I think that's all we know so far. Yeah, so it says the crimes of violence counts as sentencing enhancers and alleged Letecia used a weapon. So I'm assuming from that there is obviously, as much as I don't want to say it, there's obviously injuries to Gannon's body. And they believe that he was killed in Colorado, because a lot of people are saying, well, if he was killed in Florida, wouldn't then she receive the death penalty? But they do believe that she was that Gannon was killed in Colorado and transported to Florida. What do we think about another person being involved? Oh, okay. Thank you, Janice. Otto Rock. So I'm streaming on YouTube as well as DLive and Periscope. And over here on YouTube, if you say the C word, you're instantly limited on monetization. I think that's really ridiculous, personally. Especially when we did our stream the other day, we talked about ways to stay safe during this time, and I think that streams like that are really important. But apparently YouTube's not happy with that, so I think that's ridiculous. Cherokee Rain can't hear anything. Does someone want to write in chat and just say maybe to refresh? So Faithful One thinks it's possible someone else is involved. I'm just trying to think about her transporting him, because she was watched pretty closely from the time he went missing. So I don't understand. I would think a lot of people, the speculation, and this is just speculation, this is not fact, a lot of people think that when she went to Petco, someone met her there and took Gannon. Yeah, I think maybe someone, I wouldn't discount someone else being involved. Obviously law enforcement know more about this case than we do. Thank you, Stephanie K, for doing that for me. I could understand it. But yes, I think that's everything we know. Does anyone else know anything else they want to add? And I just want to make another plea for everyone to sort of, we're all so invested in this case, and this is what happens when we cover, when we are true crime enthusiasts. We want the best outcome, and we worry about, especially when it's a case with a child, we worry about the victim in the case. And I know that we all want as much information as possible, but I just sort of have a plea that we sort of just leave Landon and Al to absorb this news, because it's one thing for Letecia to be charged, but it's another for them to actually know now that Gannon has passed. And don't fuel the flames of all of this either. There's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, that are talking about this case and all of the, like, you know, dirty little details of it, and just leave it. I would just say let's leave them be for the moment. I wanted to do a stream where we talk about what's happened and everything, but because it's a case that we all are so invested in. But after today, I'm not going to do another stream until something comes out. I just think that they've been through so much. since the start, since January 27th, especially online. It's been pretty intense, and I think they need some time. Have a look at what everyone's saying. A lot of people are talking about Colorado and her getting the death penalty there. I don't know whether that's something that will happen. Oh, Cherokee Rain, you're back. Aussie Trisha says she did a fair bit of mileage in the rental from memory. Was it that far from where she was to Florida? Someone in the comments said 900 miles. Faithful One said 900 miles, but from my reading, it was 1,400 miles from the location of their home to the location of the body. Alan thinks that she killed him on hike and someone else helped her. I think that someone else may be involved. And next court date is April 14th. Do you think the DA will be ready? I would say that that's probably just a hearing about what's going on. I don't think we'll see movement in the case until the end of the year, maybe. Colorado, so what's the situation with Colorado with the death penalty? Let me have a look. A lot of people online have been talking about that. It's no longer a death penalty state, by the way. Just seen. Have a look. So, according to shouselawcom, this was updated February 26th of this year. Colorado is no longer a death penalty state. On February 26, 2020, the Colorado legislature voted 38 to 27 to pass SB 20.100. This repeals capital punishment for offences charged on or after July 1st, 2020. Oh, so it still technically could. I don't think that she'll get it at all. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I agree, Cherokee Rain. We do. We need to give them some time. I know everyone's wants information and all the details, but I think that it's best we just give them some time. So someone emailed me saying that the daughter possibly has been arrested. Let me have a little look. But we don't know for sure. That's been unconfirmed, according to my... Yeah, the daughter is about, 17, I think. Yeah, so, I mean, I know we all probably had some sort of tiny little inkling of hope. Maybe he's safe somewhere, but unfortunately that's not the outcome. I just hope that he didn't suffer and he wasn't aware of what was happening. I'm thinking of Landon and Al and Nova and on the tip of my tongue. I don't have it written down. That's so annoying. What's his other little sister's name? I think she's the eight. I don't have it written down. but I do really hope that they'll be getting the support they need, and let's just leave them be for a little bit. Yeah, Jay Suarez says they just had a memorial and now they'll have a funeral. Yeah, and like I said, I think it's one thing for Letecia to be charged. It's another to actually now know that Gannon has passed. Very, very, very sad news. I hope that everything that all the questions that we have are answered, you know, in the future. They're doing their best now to sort of figure out the timeline, the sequence of events, and all of that sort of stuff. I wish them well on that. I hope that everyone's doing well, considering a lot of us are stuck inside at the moment and a lot of us aren't used to that. YouTube can be such a great place to be distracted from everything going on. Oh yes, Faithful One, Landon did get a tattoo. I think I have a photo in my... Let me have a look. Landon did get a tattoo for Gannon. But yeah, so definitely YouTube can be such a great, well anywhere can, but YouTube's such a great place to be distracted. There's lots of amazing documentaries on YouTube. I'm actually watching one at the moment I'm going to tell you all about. I want to cover the case in the next little while. Let me see if I have the land. I can't find it right now, so I'll just leave it for a second. Jay Suarez says, do you know of Landon, Gannon's mum, is the biological aunt of Letecia's daughter? Yeah, I did hear that. Yes, justice for Gannon for sure. So the documentary I want to tell you about. So, let me find the name of it. The person I'd love to do a stream on is Paris Bennett. He was 13 when he killed his 4-year-old sister. And he says he did it because he wanted to hurt his mum as much as possible. So let me find the name of the documentary. I'm almost finished watching. I started it late last night. Okay, so it's called The Family I Had. Paris Bennett was actually interviewed by Piers Morgan on a documentary called Psychopath with Piers Morgan. Let me throw the link up to this in case you want to watch it. I want to do a stream in the next couple of days about him because he's very interesting, and I found out that we can actually write to him. I thought it would be very interesting if we watch the documentary, do some research. I'll do a live on him, and then we figure out a letter to send him. But it's a pretty crazy case. He killed his 4-year-old sister. That case was on Dr. Phil Interview with Mum. Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. The documentary is called The Family I Had. Halfway through it, and I also watched the interview with Piers Morgan, which was chilling. You can find that online. I haven't been able to find it, but it's a crazy case, and I actually found his address that we can write to him to. So, you know, coming up in the next couple of days, we will we'll do a stream on that. I think that would be interesting. So do some research, do some respectful stalking. But I'm going to leave that here for today. Thank you so much for coming in and participating. Don't forget to subscribe or follow if you haven't already, and give the video a like. It lets YouTube know that you're interested in my content, and it actually engaging with the channel, liking videos, commenting after a stream's ended in the comment section. It actually lets YouTube know that you're interested in the channel, and will make sure that you get notifications. That's what I do for all the channels that I really love now. because otherwise they don't actually, even if you click the bell, they don't actually give you notifications. So that's the downfall of the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in a couple of days. Take care, guys. Bye.